Alright lads, what's the plan? Here again in Clifford tractor parts in Ballymacelligott. This is our third video as far as I know, Friday evening. The tractors are gathering. Just give a quick look at that, look. Nice John Deere, Massey 35X, 65 below, 135s. Nice Valtra, nice 8.1 Ford. We're going to give a look at the chassis, the 8.1. A bit of a story behind that for you as well. Anyway, look, we're here in Clifford's. They're having an auction the 18th of April here. If everything comes that's supposed to come, there's supposed to be about 60 tractors here. So hopefully, yeah, all going well. Cross fingers crossed. And I'm going to bring the Belarus. It's a 920 Belarus. I'm going to bring it. It's going to be here. There's yokes coming every day. Today's Wednesday. Well, today's Wednesday, but today's Friday, if you know what I mean. Look, we're going to turn this and we're going to see what's there. And yeah, let's give a look at everything. I know we got some of this stuff in a previous video, but we're going to keep going. Look, 390. That's a lovely 390. We looked at that. That is a clean 390. That's a clean 390. 590 next door. But she is what she is. She's open for debate. All this stuff is here. All this stuff is going up for under the hammer the 18th of April. 3610. That's a nice little tractor. Unusual cabinet. I presume it's an import at some stage. Actually, do you know what's on this Sunday as well? I'm going to be there. Hopefully I'm going to be there and we're all going according to plan. 77 Leitrim LM. Morris Collins Vintage. Morris Collins Vintage Rally is on this Sunday. I worked with Morris Collins in Arthur Quarries, and what an absolute legend of a man he was. He was such a genius. Myself and a friend of mine were doing the lifts in Grey Ferguson one time, and of course we didn't clue what we were doing. So we contacted Morris over the phone. Morris gave about 3 hours talking us through what to do. And there was no video calls, there was no video screens, there was no nothing that time. But he was just sat on the phone, and do you know what? That tractor's still there, it's still going to this day. And yeah, so look, if you are around next Sunday, Easter Sunday, Morris Collins Vintage and Arthur Quarries, it's a brilliant day out, but you get to go down the quarry and they have tours of the quarry and you get to see what's happening and the whole lot. Almonds are going to have their big drag line there. There's threshing, there's timber cutting, there's going to be a face shovel there, there's everything else going to be there. Right, 290 Massey Ferguson. These are a lovely tractor. These are a nice tractor. She's 3 gear 6. That's a nice little tractor as well. Look. 1490. You know what, I had the opportunity last week of visiting a good friend of mine above in Gorey in County Wexford, Shane Gregan, and it definitely is, oh my god, the biggest collection of David Brown tractors I've ever seen in my life. There must be somewhere in the region of excess of 50, at least 50 tractors there. And you know what, I kind of have I have a thing for a 1590 or 1594 since a 6-cylinder. That's a nice tractor. Of course the door's rotted in them, but sure, that's okay. We rotten ourselves. What's this? Ford 5000. Ford 5000. Let's talk about the Ford and the 8.1 below. Oh my god, my phone doesn't stop, lads. Who's ringing me now? Yeah, now 1 second. Ford 5000. I looked at one of these last Sunday morning above in Gorey, a 4-wheel drive conversion. And what it was actually done was, it was done by a Dutch fella, and Dutch or Belgium, Dutch, same thing, I don't know. And what he actually did was he invented the plate to carry the engine, and apparently he sold the plate to County to build the 8.1. So let's give a look at that. Massey Ferguson 165, I would say. Yes, 165. Nice little tractor. Now a lot of fellas look at them and they're going to say to me, round axle, square axle, round axle. So she's got the wet brake, she's got the good brakes. So lads, she's there for you. They're a nice tractor. They are definitely a collectible tractor. Another Ford 5000. She was down the yard the last day. We saw her. Import. We talked about the rails here, 2 passenger rails. In Lands tractors, Lands Bulldog tractors, they had them. One of them was for carrying the cradle, the other one was for carrying the child. Right, let's stay going down the yard. 4270 Massey Ferguson. That's a nice tractor. That's going to be. That is a nice tractor. That's good tyres all round. And do not, oh Jesus Christ almighty, no, I won't answer that. FBD insurance. She's an import. It's a strange hitch. Yeah, she's an import. I think that's a nice tractor though. No, she's 97 Limerick. She's a nice clean tractor actually. Right, nice clean tractor. 6640. We looked at that as well the last day. That's absolutely spotless as well. Again, I keep saying, I've said it before, I think 6.6s and the 7.6s and the 7.7s and the 8.340s, these are going to be the next collectible tractor. Valtra. One thing I could never follow with Valtra, I could never follow the numbers on the bonnets. I would love, absolutely love the older style Valtra. Oh, she's a T130, so I presume she's 130 horsepower. She's a nice little tractor as well. She is 04MH. That's a nice tractor. That's a nice tractor. I like the colour. Valtra, of course, one of the first tractors, other than Valaris, of course, that have different colours. Right, 8.1. Ford 8.1 with a Q cab. Apparently, this is the chassis rail. This was patented. What's the patent number here, no? Patented by your man. Your man was from, I think that's your man told, Shane Gregan told me, I think he was from Belgium, and he patented that rail, and he put 6-cylinder Ford diesel engines into Ford 5000s and made them 2-wheel drive and made them 4-wheel drive. So what year? She's 79 TS, 79 Tipperary South. Again, lads, these are nice tractors and they're all here for you. Like I said, the 18th of April, starting around 9 AM in the morning. And if you have a tractor you want to put there into that spot, please give Colm here at Clifford Tractor Parts or Pat or any of them a call, and they will sort you out. What's she, you know? Is she a Manitou? She could be a Manitou, I don't know. I know I can tell you is I know the first of the Manitou all-terrain forklifts were based on international tractors, so it would be far. I don't know which brand she is. Hang on, no, there's a bit of writing there, but sure we can't see it. Oh, Heister, HRV, Harvey, I don't know. That's a nice little all-terrain. So we're looking for one. Now this yoke, we looked at this as well in one of the videos. This is cool. The whole thing can slew around to either side. That's savage, lads. That's cool. Now our roadlesses, 6.4s, lot of interest in these. An awful lot of interest in these. Fellas are on about them and they're on about this, that and everything else. This is obviously just a 4-wheel drive major. This is the 6.4, and as far as I know, this 6.4 is matching numbers. That's what we've been told. It's a complete matching numbers tractor. Everything, the engine, the gearbox, the transmission, the back end, the drop boxes, the whole lot, they are the numbers, the chassis numbers, they are the numbers on the thing that left the factory. This is another one. This is not matching numbers, but it's there. It's, look at that, they're completely original, not painted. Maybe this got a coat of paint, I don't know, but the bonnet didn't, the mudguards didn't. That's a nice tractor as well. 135 Massey Ferguson. Again, lads, the work these tractors did over the last couple of years is just absolutely chronic. Like the work, I remember a neighbour of mine, John Quirk had a 135 behind in Derrymore, and he bought it, and as far as I know, up in the correction, his nephew told me he bought the 135, and he bought a baler, he bought a mowing bar, and he bought something else, all inside of Brennan Hassett's, all in the one day. It was a deal, it was a package deal. That was it. It's getting very windy now, lads. I hope you can still hear me. Right, another 135 with a loader. We kind of give a look at that the last day. I prefer that one, but it's fine. That's a big dumper, a big swivel tip dumper. What is she? She tweets. She looks like a bit like a Terex. I don't know, what is she? She's a Binford, 99 kY Binford. These are a lovely dumper. She's key start. She'll want to be key start to big engine. They are what they are. Look at that, like. And like, what I like about this dumper is the skip is not bait to death. Some of these you see, and the skip to be hammered to death, and like, it's a bit green. To be honest, if you got a bit of a power wash, it would clean up something absolute fierce. Like, the tyres in it are okay. It's very windy. I hope the wind isn't turning you off. That's a nice dumper. That's a nice dumper. Good tyres. Oh, there's no cracks. Well, there's a few cracks and tears in the tyres, but sure, what do you expect? Okay, Massey Ferguson 135 yellow one with grass tyres in the back of it. Or 135. Massey Ferguson 35. My apologies. She's very narrow in the front. She's narrowed away in for whatever reason. That's a nice track. She's bigger. She looks high. Yeah, she looks high, doesn't she? Of course, some fella might have had it on a log splitter. That's for the return pipe for the thing. Ferguson system, boy. That's the Ferguson system. Of course, the Ferguson system. For those of you who don't know, this is the Ferguson system. This is Harry Ferguson's design. The top link, the lift arms. That's Harry Ferguson's thing. Okay, what else do we have? Ford Super Dexter. Fordson. Of course, the idea, for those of you who don't know, Ford. That's just Ford. Ford and Son. Henry Ford came up with this company to keep it separate from the cars. The cars were Ford, the tractors were Fordson. Okay, 35X. Is she the multi-power one? She's not, no. There's a 35X multi-power here, and I can tell you there is a heap of interest in it. Actually, that's a neat little trailer. That's a nice trailer, actually, isn't it? Christ almighty, that is a nice little trailer. Yeah. 35X. Again, this would have been the tractor that just came after the Grey Ferguson. The Grey Ferguson is actually 80 years this year. For those of you that might be around, the 10th of May, Kingdom County Fair on a Sunday, just inside in Tralee. 10th of May, Kingdom County Fair. We're doing all things Massey Ferguson, celebrating the birthday party of the little Grey Ferguson, which we don't have any here actually. I'm kind of surprised. Last year's auction there was about 10 of them here, but it's early yet. We still have 2 weeks to go, or 3 weeks. Ford 36, the nice little tractor again. They are what they are. They're a lovely tractor. They're a lovely tractor. And my uncle had one. Was it a Ford 3000? Was there a 2.6? Might have been something like a 2.6. Christ almighty, it was a great tractor. The amount of work he did with it, the amount of work that tractor did for him, it was colossal. Absolutely colossal. Okay, 65. Slight step up. Of course, there was a 35, there was a 65, there was a 95. There was all them. Actually, I know there's a handsome 95 not too far from where I'm standing this minute. And a lot of the 95 Massey Fergusons were actually built by a company called Ballymacelligott. Over in America. Look at that, lads. That's savage. That is a nice example of 65 now. Neighbour of mine behind in Derrymore had a 65 Massey Ferguson, and they had a Foster power arm or a Foster digger on the back of it. And Christ almighty, the amount of work they did with it, unbelievable. Actually, the man that drove it only passed away recently, lads, and my God, I remember him. The amount of work he did with it was just, it was brilliant. He was a genius up on it. He was an absolute genius up on it. Okay, keep going. Massey Ferguson 25. Again, nice tractor. I think the 21s and the 25 were French built. I think, open to correction on that one. Another 25. Very unusual to get two 25s in the one yard. They're both pristine examples. They're both handsome tractors. It's actually very hard to say which one is slightly better than the other one. I don't know. I actually don't know. I like the rims in this, the red and silver. The alternate is a bit rusty in that, but that's the only thing you can say. That Okay, I suppose the one above here probably has a fresher paint job. Possibly has a fresher paint job. But does this one have a better paint job? Oh, I don't know. They're both perfect tractors. They're both lovely, lovely tractors. Something wrong with the badge in this one. Yeah, look, it's fine. It's beautiful. Right, 35X. This is the 35X that loads of people are inquiring about. She's a 35X multi-power. Again, that's a nice tractor. We done that in the last video, so we're going to stay going. John Deere. I think this is a John Deere 40. Open the correction again. She is a 40. Yeah. Petrol, 2-cylinder petrol. These are a nice tractor. They're a lovely tractor. They are a lovely, lovely little tractor. Is there a pulley on it? I think there's a pulley on it. Is there a pulley on it? There's not. No, there's no pulley on it. But imagine this tractor in the 40s. Christ almighty, what a sight it would have been. What an absolute sight that tractor would have been in the 50s, 40s, 50s. Right, we've 3 more left to look at. With this holder. We've that in the other video, we give a bit of a look through it, but we're going to go through them again. Massey Ferguson 42. We did that in the other video as well. She's a bit like the 65 for all the world. She's the wider tire, wider rims, and of course, like I said, there was a 135. There was the 133s, 148s. That they never came here. I never saw a 42 here. Okay, a 135. I believe this is a Ballymacelligott tractor with a heater on the block. Am I right in saying that? No, she mightn't be. I know where there's a tractor very similar to this. No, this isn't the tractor I was thinking of. And it came in from Sweden. And there's a heater and all on the block for keeping the tractor plugged in at night, keeping it warm, so you better start it in the morning. But yeah. Okay guys, and we have this yoke, the New Holland. So guys, that's kind of it for now. I'm going to call here again tomorrow, Saturday, and I'm going to make another video, or even Monday, we'll see, or Tuesday, and put it up Wednesday. And then what my plan would be is I'd come back and I'd do a line. So we do 1, 2, 3, there's 4 videos, and we just look at each video, look at each tractor in a bit more detail, and put 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 tractors, maybe 10 tractors into the video, and yeah, we'll go from there. Look, I'm just going to work, and like I said, give a like, give a subscribe, and give an out for that. It's going to be an hour long video. I'm editing it at the moment, but if you're a David Brown fan, this is savage. It'll be a couple of weeks time, keep an eye out for it. Look at that, lads. I think that's handsome. I think that's the start of the show.